There's been a widespread display of sorrow and anger from people all over the country in the recent weeks. People from diverse backgrounds are protesting on the streets demanding justice for the victim of the horrifying Kolkata rape and murder. In the midst of this uproar, several other cases of rape and sexual harassment have become headline news, including the sexual assault of two nursery students in Badlapur, the rape and murder of a nurse in Uttarakhand, and the rape of a nursing student by an auto driver in Maharashtra. We must express our outrage while also seeking solutions to this heinous crime. It is time to walk the talk and carry out tangible action. In light of that, NewsX proposes that India needs a scientific study of sexual predators so that we understand what goes on in the minds of these predators and rapists. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health has extended support and supports NewsX's sexual predator study campaign as well. And in fact, to take this conversation forward, joining us at this point of time is Mr. Pratap Rao Jadhav, Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare of India. Sir, appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much for taking out the time. So NewsX has launched a campaign where we are inviting the most qualified medical minds to discuss profiling of rapists. Would you be willing to extend your support to this important campaign?
निश्चित रूप से न्यूज एक्स ने जो भी यहाँ पर अभियान चलाया है उसके लिए मैं उनको बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि बहुत ही अच्छा ये अभियान है जिससे कि लोगों में जागरूकता पैदा होगी और समाज में भी लोग अच्छा व्यवहार करके अच्छी तरह से अपना जीवन व्यतीत करेंगे।
सर, रोज़मर्रा सेक्सुअल असॉल्ट और बलात्कार की जो घटनाएं हो रही हैं ये कम उम्र की लड़कियों के साथ भी हो रही हैं और ये बहुत ज़रूरी है ये समझना और इस बात से जूझना कि जो लोग ये क्राइम्स कर रहे हैं, इन चीज़ों में इंडल्ज कर रहे हैं, वो इसमें कैसे जा रहे हैं और उसकी वजह क्या है? आपको क्या लगता है कि इन लोगों की मानसिकता क्या है?
देखो कि आजकल हम देख रहे हैं कि कुछ लोगों की मानसिकता इतनी बदल गई है कि वो छोटे बच्चियों को भी, और कुछ तो ऐसे उदाहरण भी सामने थे कि अपने खुद के बेटी के ऊपर भी अत्याचार करने में लोग हिचकाते नहीं है। तो निश्चित रूप से ये जो मानसिकता है, ये समाज में ये मानसिकता बदलने की आवश्यकता है। और आप लोग जो अभियान यहाँ पर न्यूज एक्स से चला रहे हैं, तो अभियान से निश्चित से रूप से लोगों में जागरूकता है।
सर, आपको लगता है कि ये जो वैज्ञानिक एक जो स्टडी है ये हमें मदद करेगी पॉलिसीज़ बनाने में, कानून बनाने में, जिसकी वजह से ये जो उत्पीड़न है और ये जो सेक्सुअल असॉल्ट का जो सिलसिला है वो रुकेगा?
नहीं, देखिए, ये समाज में ऐसे कुछ ही लोग होते हैं कि जिनकी मानसिकता इस तरह की होती है। हम इससे तो पूरे समाज को दोष नहीं दे सकते, लेकिन ऐसे जो भी लोग हैं इस मानसिकता वाले, तो ये लोगों के निश्चित रूप से इनके लिए कोई रिसर्च होना चाहिए या इसमें जागरूकता हम लोगों में, समाज में, हमारी जो बेटियां हैं उनमें भी कैसी तरह से हम जागरूकता ला सकते हैं कि भाई किस आदमी के साथ में किस हद तक बर्ताव करना चाहिए या किस हद तक सहन करना चाहिए, ये भी समझने की होती है। छोटे छोटे बच्चे होते हैं, कोई लड़कियां होती है, और वो अनजाने में बोलो या ना समझ में उनसे जो भी कोई ऐसी हरकत उनके साथ में करता है तो उनके समझ में भी नहीं आता, लेकिन सामने वाले की फिर हिम्मत बढ़ जाती है और ऐसी घृण कर जिसके बोलते हैं हम घटनाएं हमारे समाज में घटती है। निश्चित रूप से ये मानसिकता को जांच भी होना चाहिए और ऐसे लोगों को में जागरूकता लाने की आवश्यकता है।
सर, आपको लगता है कि ब्रेन मैपिंग जैसी तकनीक से ये एक जो मेंटल इशू है उसका कहीं ना कहीं समाधान निकाला जा सकता है?
निश्चित रूप से आपने जो सुझाव दिया है वो ठीक सुझाव है, लेकिन इस बारे में हम क्या कर सकते हैं? निश्चित रूप से हमारा मंत्रालय के अधिकारी, हमारे विभाग के मंत्री जो हेल्थ के मिनिस्टर है हमारे आदरणीय नड्डा जी, निश्चित रूप से इसमें जो भी समाज में अच्छा लाने के लिए, समाज में जागरूकता पैदा करने के लिए और ऐसी विकृत मानसिकता के जो लोग हैं उनकी पहचान करने के लिए जो भी कदम बढ़ाने की आवश्यकता होंगी निश्चित उस पर हम कोशिश करेंगे उस करने।
सर, आपको लगता है कि इन फाइंडिंग्स से एक पैटर्न, एक प्रणाली निकाली जा सकती है जिसकी वजह से कानून में भी बदलाव लाया जा सकता है और लोगों को जागृत करने के लिए भी इस स्टडी का इस्तेमाल किया जा सकता है?
हाँ बिल्कुल, महिलाओं में भी जागरूकता लाने की, क्योंकि समाज में ऐसे जो विकृत लोग हैं अभी ये तो कोई ऐसे पहचाने नहीं जाते। कोई घटना घटती है जब भी ये मसला सामने आता है और वो व्यक्ति समाज के सामने आ जाता है। लेकिन महिलाओं में भी अपने में जागरूकता रखने की आवश्यकता है। स्व संरक्षण जिसे बोलते हैं कि ऐसी भी कुछ बातें महिलाओं ने भी एक्सेप्ट करना चाहिए कि जो अपना खुद का बचाव ऐसे लोगों से कर सके।
सर, अमेरिका में एक फेरिस्ट मेंटेन की जाती है, एक रजिस्ट्री मेंटेन की जाती है जिसको ऑनलाइन लोगों को एक्सेसिबल कर दिया जाता है, जिसमें ये जो सेक्स ऑफेंडर्स होते हैं, जो प्रेडेटर्स होते हैं, उन सब का नाम होता है और उनको कहीं ना कहीं शर्मनाक किया जाता है इस फेरिस्ट में अपना नाम होने की वजह से। आपको लगता है कि ऐसा ही एक प्रोग्राम भारत में भी चलाना चाहिए?
हाँ बिल्कुल, महिलाओं में भी जागरूकता लाने की, क्योंकि समाज में ऐसे जो विकृत लोग हैं अभी ये तो कोई ऐसे पहचाने नहीं जाते। कोई घटना घटती है जब भी ये मसला सामने आता है और वो व्यक्ति समाज के सामने आ जाता है। लेकिन महिलाओं में भी अपने में जागरूकता रखने की आवश्यकता है। स्व संरक्षण जिसे बोलते हैं कि ऐसी भी कुछ बातें महिलाओं ने भी एक्सेप्ट करना चाहिए कि जो अपना खुद का बचाव ऐसे लोगों से कर सके।
सर, तृणमूल कांग्रेस ये कह रही है कि बंगाल में अभी जो भी हो रहा है वो उनकी पार्टी को बदनाम करने का एक षड्यंत्र है जो बीजेपी द्वारा रचा जा रहा है और ये जितनी भी चीज़ें हैं ये सारी पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड हैं।
अभी निश्चित रूप से ये बारे में जो आप लोगों का सुझाव है या बाकी के कंट्री में क्या होता है उसका भी स्टडी हम करके जो हमारे देश के हित में होगा, हमारे महिलाओं के लिए हित में होगा और ऐसे जो लोग हैं कि इनमें जागरूकता पैदा करने के लिए जो भी कोशिश करना पड़ेगा वो करने की निश्चित रूप से कोशिश करेंगे।
सर, ममता बनर्जी ने ये भी कहा है कि जो रेपिस्ट हैं और जो सेक्स ऑफेंडर्स हैं उनको सज़ा देने के लिए वो कैपिटल पनिशमेंट, सज़ाए मौत पश्चिम बंगाल में इनिशिएट करेंगी। और आपको लगता है कि ये एक समाधान है ऐसी घोषणा करना?
ये देखिए, जो पश्चिम बंगाल में एक डॉक्टर महिला के साथ में जिस तरह से रेप की घटना वहाँ पर घटी, निश्चित रूप से उसमें सभी सिर्फ पश्चिम बंगाल ही नहीं तो पूरे हमारे भारत देश में भी उसकी अवहेलना हुई। सभी जगह पे डॉक्टर लोग होंगे, समाज के भी कुछ जागरूक नागरिक होंगे, इन्होंने भी कहा हड़ताल की, कहा पर उन्होंने बंद पुकारा गया, जगह जगह पे आंदोलन और पश्चिम बंगाल की घटना का निषेध भी समाज के सभी स्तरों से लोगों ने किया कि इतनी निंदनीय वो घटना थी। लेकिन ये दुर्भाग्य है कि पश्चिम बंगाल की मुख्यमंत्री एक महिला होते हुए भी महिला पर अत्याचार होने के बावजूद वहाँ पर के जो भी अभी सामने आ रहा है हमारे के न्यूज़पेपर से या आपके जैसे चैनलों से जो हम देख रहे हैं कि वहाँ की एविडेंस मिटाने की कोशिश की गई, वहाँ पर वो जो प्रकार यहाँ पर ये हुआ उसको दबाने की कोशिश वहाँ पर की गई। निश्चित रूप से इससे लोगों के मन में गुस्सा उमड़ के आना लाजमी है और उमड़ के आ सकता है और वो आ रहा है। तो मुझे लगता है कि पश्चिम बंगाल की जो सरकार है ये उन्हीं की जिम्मेदारी थी कि वो उस पर तुरंत कार्रवाई करे, जो भी दोषी होंगे उन पर कड़ी सजा सुनाने के लिए कोशिश करे, फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट जैसे इसमें मामला चला के कि समाज में भी थोड़ा भय, ऐसी घटना जो करने की सोचता है उसके मन में भी भय पैदा हो, इस तरह की कोशिश करनी चाहिए थी। वो नहीं हुई, इसीलिए जनता में वो जो गुस्सा उभर के आ रहा है, जो आंदोलन कर रहे हैं।
जादव जी हमसे बातचीत करने के लिए, हमारे से जुड़ने के लिए सर आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Dr. Sneha Sharma, consultant psychiatrist, Anvaya Healthcare, also joins us on the program. Dr. Sneha Sharma, thank you for joining us. Well, first of all, your impressions of the conversation that I've just had, with a leader of this country who proposes that sexual predators definitely need some creative treatment in terms of how to deter them and how to make India safer for women, everywhere. In fact, not only in West Bengal. Your analysis of why is this a nuisance? Why is this a pandemic on its own, which India has failed to grapple with?
Right. So definitely sexual abuse is something which is all pervasive and it's present all over the country. And I think the fact is that we have limited cases that come into public notice. And there is definitely uproar around that, but a lot of cases go unreported, or where families feel that nothing would be done, or the systemic structure is such that people fear that justice will not be given, or the victim would be stigmatized or shamed for or held responsible for that behavior. So the answer to addressing something as vast as sexual abuse and assault would not be a simple answer of correcting one thing. It would mean that a lot of changes have to happen on a multifactorial level. So, even at the grassroots level, people have to change their mentality. The working has to be towards less of misogyny, less of sexism, which is pervasive, irrespective of the religion, irrespective of caste, the culture of this country, or the socioeconomic status. Even with ages, we see there, different age groups, we see that sexism is still present. From a younger child being discriminated on the basis of sex to an older, elderly women being discriminated, it is present everywhere. And so that system has to be addressed, which definitely will happen slowly and has been happening, but of course is not sufficient. But at the same time, what is important is that when these cases come to light, when these things are in public eye, or when these reach the place of justice in the legal system also, there needs to be better support for the victim, better support for reporting, lesser of shaming the victim even by the judicial system or by the police, the individuals who are involved. So proper training of individuals, even at hospitals where we send individuals for, who have been victims of sexual assault. So we see that the sensitization even at the level of staff of the hospital is not there. Or when reporting cases, we see this in newspapers and also on media, that not the correct language is not used. Often the language is in a passive way rather than actively naming the individual or the assault that has happened. So with all of these things, definitely focusing more on offenders could be one way of looking at it. Focusing more on offenders would mean, yes, there need to be clear-cut established punishments that are there, but to look at very stringent measures that need to be in place, which are against the offenders without shaming or putting the victim as the blame. And then, addressing, because most of these offenders are men, especially when it comes to sexual abuse, then we also need to do profiling. We also need to create awareness among individuals where significant, reporting has not happened, where we look at only extreme cases of assault or rape as wrong in our country. So usually these things don't happen as it is, right? There are usually telltale signs. Those behaviors have happened a lot of times with a lot of other women and children before the offender goes ahead and does something really drastic, which shakes our consciousness. But those telltale signs are often ignored. And this is where the intervention has to happen, and this is where the seriousness has to come when dealing with offenders, is what I feel.
All right, Mrs. Sandeep Chachra, Executive Director of ActionAid Association, Human Rights Defender, also joins us on the show. Mr. Chachra, we are discussing ways and means of deterrence when it comes to sexual predation in our country. Obviously, this is in light to what has taken place or transpired in West Bengal recently. the point of reference, Mr. Chachra, is also how the Americans treat, sexual offences. You have the Sexual Predators Registry in the United States. They are shamed publicly. Some of them are even supposed to, in fact, put stickers on their cars or on their bumpers, which clearly signify the kind of crime that they have committed. Do you think that is some sort of a strategy which could work in India? Because, the law takes its own time. Stringent laws, for instance, what Mamata Banerjee has proposed, that she's going to introduce capital punishment for rape and murder. Do you think is it something that's going to work in our country?
No, thank you for having me here on this important conversation. I think, first of all, just to sort of start, I welcome this idea of which you are and your channel is proposing, the sexual predator study. So I think that's welcome. I think, having said this, naming and shaming predators, the example you were giving of other countries, you quoted Americans, is one way to look at it. But one needs to also understand, as the previous speaker was speaking to, that sexual predators and sexual predation per se is not an isolated story. So it exists within a society which is driven by, as the Honorable President spoke to in expressing her anguish yesterday, I'll come to that, but a society which is driven by patriarchal values and systems. So in a sense, which multiplies the idea of objectification of women, commodification of women, and enables more and more sexual predators to come in and affords them to a degree impunity, which was being spoken about. So I think it has to be viewed, the whole exercise, and exercise in the right direction, has to be viewed within an ecosystem of a patriarchal setup, a patriarchal society. So that's something that I'd like to state at the outset. On the second question, yes, of course, we need tighter laws. We need clearer, transparent, and fairer implementation of the law. We also don't want to see a scenario where, the accused are deprived of the basic fundamental rights, and what is called mob lynchings or scenarios of mob lynching happen. So I think we don't want to get there, but yes, much more stricter, tighter, transparent, and speedy implementation of the law. It does act to a degree as a deterrent. But just going on, sort of capital punishments and more on tightening how you deal with offenders is probably not the only solution, is not the solution. Because yes, we've had these calls for death penalties. We've heard these quick hanging calls. I mean, we've now 12 years after Nirbhaya, but has it really deterred? Even as the President herself noted in her anguish yesterday, even as student medics and other students were protesting in Howrah, in Calcutta, Kolkata, predators were at large in other states, in Maharashtra, in those times, in Uttarakhand, in Uttar Pradesh. So I think without getting into which state and where, it's a national question for us. So I think the whole issue is, how do we sort of look at societies? In her sharing of anguish yesterday, the Honorable President spoke to and spoke for, I would say, millions of justice-loving women and men of this country, and I think globally as well, because this is not just one society which is patriarchal. There's just degrees of difference, if I may call it that. She spoke to their fears, she spoke to their hopes, she spoke to their aspirations of what is needed in a brave new world, a just new world, freedom for fear for all women of this world. So she spoke to them, and I think in that regard she spoke to the issue of socialization. You see, all of our societies, and historically, most of our societies are located and are premised on a culture of socialization which is essentially premised on patriarchal values, whether it is at homes, whether it is in our schools, whether it's the institutions we interact with when we grow up, or whether it is the institutions and processes we are in as adults. So in a sense, I think the Constitution, and our Constitution, is a very big attack on those patriarchal values and systems. And I think we should progress that dream further. So I'd like to sort of locate it in a wider premise. I think the question of how do you fundamentally alter, I have said it before elsewhere, how do you consign patriarchy to dustbins where it belongs to? I would call them dustbins of history, where they actually belong to. But I think this whole idea of relooking at socializing or building new societies, as one would call it, from the cradle to the grave approach, as one would call it, which treats women not as objects, but which treats women as equals and as futures of our society is very, very important. I think much more deeper. So it's not just a question of governance reform alone. It's also a question of societal reform and societal progress and societal advance. Speaking to this question that you raised today of sexual predators, as I said, we can't look at it in isolated ways. And we have a long way, certainly in India, in the century that we are in, the 21st century, where we dreamt once, and we all continue to dream and hope that in this century, we shall surely see a society which is free from fear, women in the society which have no fear, which have no sort of bounds, and are able to embrace futures as men do, as all of us do. And I think that's the context in which I would think
Right,
that the study needs to get to, Vinitji. Thank you.
Right, sir. Well, J.B. Mathur, INC Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament, is also joining us on the program. J.B., appreciate you joining us. Well, Newsex has launched a campaign where we are inviting the most qualified medical minds to urge the IMA to announce the world's largest study into the psychology of rapists. Would you be willing to extend your support to this kind of a cause and campaign in light of what has happened?
So this is very important. One of the issues that has been there, it's not sudden, but it has been there for many years. But now it has become all the more rampant and extreme. National Crime Bureau records the reports which shows are very shocking. Again, the crime against women, especially rape, physical abuse and assault, sexual assault, all that have become very common. So it is very important to understand, corrective measures, stringent punishment, that fear of mind in those who have this mentality, to ensure that, they have that fear that, okay, if they do it, they'll be punished. Stringent punishment will happen, but that unfortunately we are not able to give that projection in our country. And for example, I would like to say that speaking from Kerala, today the headlines is about an MLA, an actor, Mr. Mukesh. So FIR, a case is registered against him for sexual assault of an actress. And that too, all grave sections have been incorporated in that. IPC section 504, 354 have all been charged against him. So also in the backdrop of HEMA committee report which has come now, which is constituted to look into the issues the women face in film industry particularly. So all that revelations also, it is very shocking that there's to that level there is abuse of women happening, and still, so it is very important that strict action should be taken. So as far as this Mukesh is concerned, now still he is not here. I'm also the Mahila Congress State President of Kerala, so we are demanding his resignation. From as an MLA, he should not continue, and he should face the investigation. So it is very important to understand the mentality also of those who are venturing into such crimes or involved in sexual assaulting of women or rape. What my opinion in this is that, so there's an inherent feeling that men are superior, misogyny is rampant in our society. So this is a physically, making women come under them forcefully is that mentality itself has to be changed. So that should be brought about by strict action, by creating awareness, and also those who are doing such things should feel that they should feel eliminated from society. But what happens is such men are always embraced and welcomed, whether it is Hatras, victims, those who are such culprits, we see the ruling dispensation garlanding them, whether it's Unnao or Kathua. It's very unfortunate that those who are in power try to protect those culprits.
And Jebby, we spoke to FBI researcher Dr. Anne Burgess, who has conducted such studies which have shown great impact in understanding the motives of criminals and develop patterns. Do you think they can, be roped in, and similar studies can also be done here?
Certainly, like the basic mentality of a criminal or those who are into such things would be the same, I think, anywhere in the world. But however, the situations may differ, the laws will differ, how each one, how the system, the criminal justice system address such issues differs, but the mentality of anybody doing such crimes would be the same. So from across wherever, whatever studies are there, all inputs can be taken and matched to suit our situation.
Jebby, do you think that such a study can also help the government in building policies for protection of women?
Please, effectively, such studies would be a good input for lawmakers, for the government to incorporate, such things, understanding the mentality, how it can be corrected, what are the corrective measures. Ideally, all these can be good input for any government to take decisions on the best policy for women protection, women's safety, and the self-respect of women. Such study would help, but the issue in hand is whether the governments have the courage to take action, whether to take steps, stringent measures, whether they can, without looking at the face of who the culprit is or who is involved in the crime, whether any government can take action. And as I earlier said, we see instances where the ruling dispensation, the BJP leaders garlanding those the Hathras culprits, MLA, and even the women wrestlers, when they protested for months together, we saw how the ruling dispensation was ignoring the plight of women wrestlers, and how they were being targeted, how the necessary things are not provided for them, how they are being eliminated. So it becomes a moral will for any government to look into such studies and also situations, and to take stringent measures. That moral will is more important, is what I feel. In Olympics also, we were very sad that we all celebrated that our pride would get the silver medal, but then what has happened? When we look into the background of all that, also we know the kind of mentality she had to go through, the pain she had to go through. So we should give them sufficient. Women of India should feel that safety, and government is there to protect them, no matter who is involved, whoever is are the people doing such crimes. But we saw in Karnataka also, just before parliament elections, how one of the candidates, former prime minister's grandson, how they were, it was not even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hundreds or 200s. The numbers were so huge about the abuse. So political will is more important. The government should have the political will to take stringent action against, and not just words. Anybody can say big things and big promises, but what happens to Nirbhaya Fund? Even Nirbhaya Fund is not is given the due weightage. So all these are the things which I feel, but certainly such inputs and such study will definitely be a good input for the lawmakers and the government.
All right.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.